Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturning. One thing that I appreciate from the clubs that I belong to are the people who can source wood. Mick sourced a nice piece of Chinese elm, gave me a hunk, it's a complete piece, so it's enough for 2 bowls, so why not, since the bark is thin, I'll actually try and do a natural edge with this. And while I'm at it, okay, how about a traditional twice-turned bowl, where this one, rough it out and then let it dry. Unfortunately, it's going to take 6 to 12 months to let it dry, to lose probably about 30% of the moisture in here. But this has been sealed, but we'll deal with that later. So you'll have to wait and develop your patience on that one. But this one has now been turned a week. It has lost about 10% of its weight in moisture. That's enough to get the surface moisture out of this, which will enable me to sand it for the finish. It may still warp, but that will be okay. It will be hard to distinguish it with this natural edge. By the way, you can amaze friends by trying to tease them as to which way these were. Not that way. These were in the tree this way originally. So it's a natural edge is a great experience, but we'll do this one today. So let's turn this natural or bark edge bowl.
While I often use a pin faceplate to start rough turning, that is not a good option for this natural edge bowl because of the possible need for adjustments that you will see later. Instead, the wood is mounted between centers. The future top side is oriented to the headstock. The wood is reported to be Chinese elm. I have also clipped the corners to save some initial rough turning. Since this lathe does not have an RPM readout, I set the speed by feel. Speed starts very slowly, then increases until the lathe starts vibrating. Then test a slightly higher speed to see if it smooths out. Then back to what feels best. Actually, setting speed based on an RPM meter would not yield an optimum result. It would be either too fast or too slow. No matter what, I have to be comfortable with the speed. My large bowl gouge is up to the challenge as I take cuts from the bottom up towards the top. By the way, going straight in from the edge for a bowl is the roughest way to go. As corners are cut off, I can gradually increase the speed. As soon as the sides are rounded, I can stop to see if adjustments are needed. By hand, I rotate the bowl while holding a pen near the bark edge at the highest point and again at the lowest point. Adjustments are made by moving the live center point. Then recheck to see if the adjustment is enough. If not, repeat until I'm happy. By doing this, the bark edge should be consistent at highs and lows in the finished bowl. With the adjustments finished, I continue shaping the bowl. I need a tenon at the bottom. My skew is the best tool for this to cut the dovetail. I do not like straight jaws. Then I've learned from master turners to make another ledge just above the tenon to help guide my eye for the bottom curve. Once the rough shape is there, I switch to shear cuts with just a bit of the vertical gouge edge doing the work and cutting very tiny shavings. Since this is the only time this bowl will be mounted to the lathe, I try smoothing the curve with my skew as a negative rake scraper, and it works. With the exterior turned, it is time to reverse the bowl to hollow the interior. It is mounted using that dovetail tenon. With wet wood, I give it a couple more tugs to cinch the jaws tight. I am not worried about marring the tenon surface as it will be gone shortly. Keeping the live center provides insurance and the ability to take heavier cuts. However, I did need to remove a little bit of wood to allow the live center to seat. Then back for the heavy cuts. To start with, I'm cutting a lot of air due to the curve of the outer edge. As hollowing progresses, my objective is to keep the wall consistent despite the curve. Once the bowl is deep enough, therefore making hollowing deep very difficult, I switch to a heavy bowl scraper instead of a steeply ground gouge. This heavy scraper works for me. Finally, put the wet bowl in a paper grocery sack for a week to let the surface moisture dry. With the surface moisture gone, I can power sand with the lathe off without the sandpaper clogging up too much. In only a week, the bowl has also warped a little. The warp would make sanding with the lathe on very difficult. This works. Then I need to reverse and finish the foot. For this, I'm using a PVC plumbing fitting mounted to a faceplate. I had tried another one that used 1/2 of a coupling. However, it did not hold the ball far enough from the headstock, so I had to make another with a larger PVC fitting. With just a bit of padding between the wood and the PVC, this works great with live center pressure. This faceplate is also compatible with a vacuum pump that I'm not using this time. After the tenon is gone, I still have enough wood to reduce the ledge and form it into a foot, leaving just a little nub in the center. Then blend the foot into the bowl exterior walls. This may not look like much, but remember that the bowl has warped a little. So blending is finding an optimal curve enough that sandpaper can do the final blend. After sanding, I'm cutting back the nub. However, I will not cut it completely because there is no way that I can catch a flying bowl. Just in case, the thin point is a little proud of the surface. If it were to break, I do not want it breaking below the wood surface. Then signed off the remaining nub with a pad mounted to a collet on the lathe. Finally, my favorite bowl finish is walnut oil. It brightens the wood with a matte finish. This completes the live edge, bark edge, or natural edge bowl. It has warp, but not too much, and it may warp a little more. With the curves from the natural edge, you would have to use measuring equipment to see the warp. I am sorry you will have to wait months for its companion bowl, but that is life for that style of bowl. I like this one already. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website because my notifications are more reliable than YouTube's. Please tell your friends about my weekly videos. I appreciate your comments and questions. Please wear your full face shield whenever the lathe is running. That's my best safety tip, and stick around for a surprise ending.